Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Um, Hello. My name is Elena Gosalvez Blanco, and I'm the director here in New Haven at Yale Young Global Scholars. Thank you so much for joining me today, wherever you might be joining from. Maybe it's afternoon, evening, I don't know, maybe it's late at night. But welcome and thanks again for joining. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why YYGS is such a unique summer experience for high school students. Um, my presentation will not be too long. I always like keeping it to the point because I understand you're all very busy high school students and have a lot going on. And there will be an opportunity to ask questions via the Q&A feature towards the end of my presentation in case I don't answer some of the things you might want to know. So for those of you that might have never heard about YYGS or you're not too familiar with us, we are an academic summer enrichment program for high school students from all around the world. And I would say one of the most unique things about us is the fact that we have over 150 countries represented and basically every US state and territory. And we offer 2-week sessions on Yale campus. So you can immerse yourself in a Yale or Ivy League opportunity. But also, and I think more importantly, you can learn from each other, right? Learn from students that are your age, but they have very similar or very different lives from you all over the country. We all here at YYGS, we all work for Yale University. We're actually part of the Office of International Affairs. So we are really, our job is to bring Yale to the world and the world to Yale. So we are not directly working for admissions. As you can imagine, admissions is its own thing. But we are really actually liked by admissions because we spread the word about Yale and about this amazing opportunity with the students from all over the place. Um, our offerings are here. These are our dates for 2025. And it's not summer everywhere. So maybe you're joining from a country where it will be winter in June and July. But anyway, these are our June and July sessions for summer 2025. And these are our 4 academic tracks. So YYGS is not a summer school or a summer program or anything that will that is like school. It's almost, I always refer to it like a conference of sort where like-minded people come together for these 2 weeks of very intense learning and very intense like personal connection. Um, so when you apply, you let us know what your availability, right? Which of these sessions you can do. Some of our students might select 1 or 2 or 3, right? Like some of you might be available just for 1 or for all of them. And then same with our 4 academic tracks. Here you see them listed. We have innovations in science and technology, which is our STEM um, session. We have literature, philosophy, and culture, which are our humanities track. We have solving global challenges, which is obviously cross-disciplinary because all the problems of the world are cross-disciplinary by definition. And then we have politics, law, and economics, which is our social sciences track. Much like with the sessions in time, when you apply, you get to rank these in order of preference. Some students might rank all of them, right? Because they like the 4 of them in a particular order. But some students maybe are only interested in 1 or 2, right? Everybody's different and we completely understand. So when you apply, you're basically telling us which dates you're available and which of these sessions you're interested in. Our curriculum is another extremely unique thing. As I said, we don't have classes. We don't have grades. We don't have papers to write. It's not school. Like, it does not feel like school. Yes, you will be living in our Yale residential colleges, which are very nice, and you get kind of like a sense of what a Yale student does in like living in those buildings that have dining halls inside them and quads and a lot of spaces for relaxing and having fun, and then a walk back and forth to some academic buildings. But the curriculum itself is really based on peer-to-peer interaction. And we have a lot of things that happen, right? Our schedule is very packed. We are 2 weeks, and even the weekend, you will be doing things. There's not a lot of free time at YYGS, I'll be honest. And you have all these components, and I would say the main thing they all have in common is that they are based on peer-to-peer interaction. So some of these components that I want to mention are lectures. So one of the reasons why students really appreciate YYGS is definitely that we bring Yale faculty and some leading practitioners to talk about the most relevant topics in their fields. So of course, depending on the track that the student attends, those will vary. And the idea is, if, say, you're doing PLE, politics, law, and economics, and maybe you are really passionate about law, some of these lectures will also be politics and economics, right? Because we want to make sure we expose you to the different disciplines. Some examples of lectures that we had this past summer are here in the screen. If you want to look at others, you can definitely check our website. Some of the lectures lecture every year for us. Some of them come and go, right, as they have grants or travel or vacation or other things happening in their lives. The same, some of them will lecture more than once per summer. Some of them will only lecture one time. So every single session at YYGS is unique, right? In that moment in time, for that group of students. There will be around 150 students per session. So say if you are an IST, Innovations in Science and Technology student, you will be attending maybe session 1, the first one. You will be with another 150 students in the lecture hall, seeing some of these lecturers. After each lecture, actually at the end of the day, we have what we call breakout sessions, in which a small group of students from that 150, we break you up in groups of 10 to 12, and led by an instructor, who our instructors are grad and undergrad students that attend Yale and other leading universities. And you will get to discuss with your group of peers the lecture that you just listened to in the morning. And that's really important for our students because they really get to take ownership of the learning. They get to practice their critical thinking. They get to agree, disagree with the lecture. They get to express the things they didn't understand, the things that they're connecting to other things they might know. And that really allows the students to digest the lecture together and really make it their own, because these lectures are essentially university material or college material. They're the same lectures that the undergrads at Yale are getting. So some of them are actually very difficult. So students will help each other to understand them, and others will create definitely debate and disagreement. And so it's very important to navigate that in a group of really diverse students that might bring a completely different understanding to the lecture than the one that you might have. Another very important thing of our curriculum is seminars. Again, we're very unique in that admitted students, a couple of months before attending, will get what we call a blue book of over 150 unique seminars that are designed for students to really learn in depth about a very specific topic. Here in this screen, you see sample seminar titles. And again, in the website, you can see more. The seminars, much like the lectures, are unique every summer, right? We will hire a different group of instructors. Some of our instructors return, some don't. So some of these seminars might be taught again in 25, some might not. But our instructors create the seminars specifically for our YYGS students, and they teach these topics that they're very, very passionate about. So our students really enjoy learning from them. As you can see, they're so specific that in many cases the students will have never learned anything like this before. Some of our students maybe have some previous knowledge of these topics, but either way, it's very fun to kind of get together with other students that have self-selected to be in this particular seminar with this particular instructor that is passionate about this topic. So students really get a lot out of this. Seminars can be 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, depending on the track, which means that they will meet maybe only one time or two or three. And again, they're very unique and self-contained. Sometimes they require a little bit of pre-arrival reading. But sometimes they actually don't, right? You can show up and the instructor will basically give you the material and in a very interactive way. Another very popular component at YYGS is family time. We create families, we call them families of students. Again, these will be students in your academic track. They will be engineered to have a lot of representation, different countries, languages, religions, races, you name it, represented. And then again, led by an instructor. Um, you will get to learn about how other students your age live all around the world. You will get to share experiences, play games, have fun, socialize, but also reflect and really pay attention to cultural differences and learn to understand and respect each other, even people that are completely different from you and live maybe a life that you would never live yourself. And it becomes a really engaging group. And the alums always tell me that they're still in touch with their family time group for many years to come because it really becomes a bonded group. The family time group sees each other almost every day, sometimes twice a day. So it is really your little family while at YYGS. These are our eligibility requirements to attend YYGS. Number one is age. You have to be 16-year-old when you arrive to us. So if you turn 16 during session 1, you can only attend session 2 and 3 and so on. We are completely unflexible about this. So if you happen to be 15 and you're not going to turn 16 until after July 20th, 2025, don't worry. You can always apply next year and attend next year. It's always good to find out about these opportunities early. And you can also, of course, recommend it to your friends or your cousins, your family members, or your neighbors. We need English fluency. I think you might be mostly coming from the US to this webinar, but just in case some of you are not, YYGS is obviously a university level program in English. So our students must be fluent in English while there's no written components or papers or exams. It's obviously a constant communication in English. So it's very important to be fluent. And all our students, even coming from 150 countries, will be fluent so they can interact with each other. You have to be a current high school sophomore or junior. We get a lot of questions because sometimes you could be potentially a 15-year-old senior in high school, right? And no, we cannot make an exception. So yes, you have to be 16 or older, and you have to be a current sophomore or junior in the US system. There's some information then about the graduation date. That again, it's also explaining it for those in the Southern Hemisphere, just in case some of you are joining us from there. And then the other rule is that you cannot attend YYGS twice. This is a very popular program. Students have a great time, and a lot of them would like to join again. But in the spirit of access and spreading the joy and spreading the opportunity, we do not allow students to do YYGS more than once. And believe me, once is enough. And then the alumni are so connected that you will still be part of the community, but you can only attend once. Our application is a bit of a short version of a university application here in the US. we will need your activity list. That again, we just want to get to know you, right? So we just want to learn whatever it is you're doing. We do not have expectations of every student that applies having 1,000 activities or being the leader or the captain or the president of everything. As you can imagine, having such a diverse group of students, a lot of the activities in the activity list of our students will be things like babysitting my siblings while my parents work, or helping in the family business, or anything, or maybe teaching myself Japanese, or learning how to draw, right? Like we just want to know what you're doing. So the activities do not necessarily have to be organized or kind of like high level clubs or high level teams or anything like that. We just want to get to know whatever it is you do. Um, then we have one 400-word essay and one shorter essay and a couple what we call fast take questions. And then we need your official school transcript, and one recommender should complete a recommendation form. That means that you will give us an email and we will email this person and get them to fill out a form. So you don't have to worry. Once you've given us the email, we will go after the person. And then there's a $90 regular decision application fee. And then you just finalize and pay, and um, we will get your application and review it. The cost of YYGS for 2 weeks is $6,500. That includes room and board and all the 24/7 academics that we offer. And again, we are housed in the historic Yale residential colleges, um, right downtown, right by the library and the old campus and all of that good stuff. And we are incredibly lucky that YYGS can offer need-based financial aid and scholarships that can cover up to 100% of the tuition costs. This aid is need-based, so we do not have, I know that I'm probably speaking with a lot of high achieving students and high deserving students, but we only have need-based financial aid. So we don't have merit-based financial aid, which means that if your family cannot afford this program, you will have to fill out some more forms, the financial aid application, give us a lot of information, a lot of documents, and we will establish essentially how much we can help you. And students that get accepted, when they get accepted, they get what is called a financial aid offer, which will say you have been accepted and you have to pay 2,000, or you have to pay 3,000 or 1,000 or zero, right? Depending on your personal situation. Last year, we gave over $3 million in financial aid. Again, we're very lucky. Most academic enrichment programs are not able to give almost any financial aid. And we're very unique that we can do this. And I also want to point out that we give financial aid to all nationalities equally. A lot of programs, again, can only give financial aid to domestic students, but we give financial aid to all nationalities. Um, and again, if you do need financial aid, please let us know. And then the minute you say, yes, I need financial aid, you will get an email with the forms that you need to fill out. And we really work hard for access in our program. And we want to make sure that everybody that would like to apply can apply and is not intimidated by the cost of the program. Because again, for admitted students, we will make an effort to meet the need where the student's family is. And it's impossible for me to give you guys a range or something because every family is different. There's a lot of, it's not just income, it's also expenses, it's number of kids, it's other like situations. So it is impossible for us to give like a range. So if you feel you cannot pay this much, your family cannot pay this much, you should definitely apply for financial aid, and then you can get an offer and see if you can accept it or not, depending on your situation. Believe it or not, YYGS has early action, and regular decision deadlines, just like the university process. We kind of mimic it because we want to help you train for applying to college next year or the year after, depending if you are a sophomore or a junior. So our early action application already passed, but the good news is our regular decision is January 10th. And when you apply by that deadline, you will find out about being admitted or not, or waitlisted in March. So the reason why we have to do these early action and regular decisions so early for a summer program, right? We are aware that other summer programs do not even open their application until February. We have to do it earlier because, as you can imagine, bringing 150 countries to campus is very complicated, and students need to know ahead. They need to prepare, they need to plan their travel, and so on. So that's why domestic or international, you have to apply early, and you will know at least very early in March if you're admitted or not, so you can accept our offer and plan your summer, right? So I guess the effort of having to apply so early is, I understand, significant, but at least then you know, and you can go ahead and plan early around other things you might have to do this coming summer. Um, I think you guys have been getting, yes, via the chat, our website, which is very important. Anybody that is thinking about applying should spend some time looking at our website. I think it's very helpful in giving you a sense of what to expect. It has a lot of great information, and it also has the link to our YouTube channel and our Instagram, where you can watch videos and content that was created by alumni. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to listen to your peers that they've created this content and they are sharing what their experience was like. So I think if you're not sure if this is for you, if you want to know more, the website and the YouTube channel and Instagram. We also have TikTok. I'm not very familiar with TikTok, but apparently there's a lot of good stuff in our TikTok channel too. So you can go ahead and look at that. There are also in the website, there are webinars that have been happening throughout the last few months about different topics. So from our academic offerings to our financial aid process and so on. So lots of also specific information about other things that I might have not covered, but you might be interested in. So I really, really encourage you to go there. And obviously, in the website, you can find the how to apply. And we even give you a PDF of the application so that before you start it, before you create an account, you can look ahead and see what you will need so you can feel prepared. Some students I know write their essays ahead of time, work on them, and then when they're ready to submit, that's when they create the account. So lots of good stuff in the website, and lots of, like I said, student reports, which is what I really think it's important. I hope this has been useful um, for you all, and I'm now ready to start taking questions. I see there's a couple already in the Q&A, um, and I really encourage you all to start typing more questions because I can read them and answer them as I go. So our first question is, what is the acceptance rate for applications? That is a question we get a lot. So as I said, YYGS is a very popular program, I think mostly because it's so unique, right? Like I've been telling you, it's not really summer school, it's more like a conference. It brings students from 150 countries, so it's really a once in a lifetime opportunity. We have not been able to find any other program that is as diverse for any age group, right? Not for high school, but not for older people or younger people. So yes, we are competitive. We're definitely not as competitive as Yale, but we have around 1,800 spots because we have 600 students, 150 in each track per session. So that is a total of 1,800 spots. And last year we got over 10,000 applications. So very competitive for a summer program, but still, um, like with anything in life, my advice is if this is something that you might think you want, you have nothing to lose if you try, if you apply. Maybe you don't get in, but if you don't apply, for sure you don't get in, right? And if you apply, maybe you get in, and this could be a completely life-changing opportunity for you. So my advice is just because things might seem difficult to get, they're not impossible. And if you don't apply, you already know you're not in. So don't despair. And if this is something for you, believe that you can do it and go for it, because it's definitely possible, right? It's not like such a crazy acceptance rate. Um, there's another question about if a students room with someone in their YYGS family. That's a good question. So actually, we've done housing in many different ways, but we do not house the students by family. The idea is that you will make different friends in the residential college. And actually, you spend a lot of time with the students in your track. So say if you're an LPC, literature, philosophy, and culture, you'll be a lot of time with your humanities like people. But then in the residential college, you will be with other people in other tracks, right? And that you might have other things in common with. So we do try to mix you. Um, there's the so this program, I think it's about like age group. So this program right now, YYGS, is only for 16, 17-year-olds, sometimes 18, but they absolutely have to be attending 10th or 11th grade. So they have to be rising 10th or sorry, rising 11th or rising 12th as of the summer. And that's the only program we offer for YYGS. We sometimes get a lot of questions about do we have like a YYGS for younger students and so on, but we don't. You have to be currently in 10th or 11th grade to be able to apply to YYGS. Are there books or other reading materials that students need to purchase? Great question. And the answer is no. Any academic materials that the students might need to prepare, we will post them in, we have like it's actually not a Canvas or a learning platform. It's more like a conference platform because we have so many events happening at the same time. But before the program begins, the students will get any mandatory or optional readings um, via that platform, so they can be prepared for their seminars or lectures. And sometimes it's actually links, like video links with watching a clip of a movie or documentary or whatever it might be. So all pre-required, like we call them pre-seminar materials or pre-arrival materials. They will be shared free of cost in our platform. Our students, while on campus and actually right before arriving to campus, also get access to the Yale libraries. And some of them really take advantage of that, but there's no need to purchase any materials. Um, the seminars are based, there's another question about seminars and if they are within their track, and the answer is yes. So students will get a blue book with 150 plus seminars that they can choose from, and they will have to choose only the seminars in their track. So if I am a Solving Global Challenges participant, I will get a list of the Solving Global Challenges um, listing, and then I will be able to pick which ones I want, and then I'll be assigned to one of them or two of them or three of them, depending on the track, and I'll get to enjoy them. And that's the beauty of the seminars, is that the other students are also self-selecting to be in them. I'll be honest, not always can our students get all their first choices, right? Because of the nature of math and how things work. But in general, I would say always the students that end up telling me, I didn't get my first choice, but I actually really enjoyed this second choice seminar. So again, it's an opportunity for students to get out of their comfort zone and learn something new. Um, I have a question about the dining hall. So the program includes all 3 meals a day in the dining hall of the residential college. So at Yale, it's a little bit unique compared to other universities in that the residential colleges, which are essentially dorms, right, dormitories, they also have a dining hall inside. So typically we have 3 residential colleges for YYGS, and we have 2 of the dining halls in those 3 are open so that students will eat in those dining halls. Like I said, all the meals are included. The Yale food is very good. It includes all kinds of choices, right? There will always be hot options, salad, pasta bar. We accommodate because this is Yale dining services. So just like during the regular year, they accommodate allergies, they accommodate kosher, halal, it's like vegetarians, vegans, right? So there will gluten-free, like they will always accommodate that. And students obviously sometimes also go out in New Haven and grab a slice of pizza or an ice cream or a bubble tea or a burger or whatever they want. But in general, they do use the dining hall for the 3 meals, and they are included, and we really encourage them to do it and to not miss breakfast. Breakfast is delicious. But yeah, it's again another test of being a university student. Um, what is most beneficial from this program for a junior in high school? That is an interesting question. I would say that the most beneficial thing about this program, uh, both for a junior and probably a sophomore too, is the access to students from all over the world that have similar and different experiences from you, and also having a taste of what going to an Ivy League university would be like. Again, a lot of our students that come and apply or are not planning to attend university in the US or university in an Ivy League school, but they get a taste of it, right? So it's a good thing to do when you're starting to think about where you might want to go for your university. And then from the academic standpoint, our sessions are designed for exposure, right? So maybe I really want to be an economist. So, and I already know, even I am 16 years old, and then I go to PLE and I might discover that I actually like politics and law more, right? Or I might think I only like biochemistry, but then I'll be exposed to physics. And so the lectures give a general exposure that we feel is very important for for your age group. And then while also tending to your very specific interests, right? Like through the seminars, you will get to also explore your very specific interests. So it kind of allows for exposure to other people and the subjects that you think you like right now, but also other things that you might realize that you could explore in the future. So it's like opening your mind. I think that's always a very good thing at your age, is to open your mind and be exposed to new things. So if you are a sophomore and you're not 16, by the date, you cannot apply. I think I said it in the beginning. We're very sorry, but we do not make any exceptions with age. So the good news is that you're already ahead of the game. You've already seen this presentation, and now you can make a note to apply for summer 26. But even if you are in the correct grade, if you're not the correct age, unfortunately, you can't apply. So see you in 2026, I hope. Um, are there some other outlets for students, like short trips of campus or games and stuff? So YYGS does not offer a lot of free time, to be honest. Like it's a packed day. However, there are little pockets of free time for sure, where students will go for a walk, go visit some of the museums at Yale, go have a ice cream, like I said before. There are always students playing games in the quads, like frisbee and soccer and If it's hot outside or if the students don't like outside games, we have the entire basements of the residential colleges that are full of game rooms where you might find them playing pool or ping pong or board games. We do offer the possibility to add membership to the gym at Yale, which is fairly close. And some students that are athletes and that cannot skip their routines for the 2 weeks will join the gym and do whatever they need to do, run, swim, whatever, lift. But that I would say is tricky because the limited time, but some of these athletes manage to do it. So I guess that's another thing that can be done. I know some students have also gone to the gym to play basketball when they had a couple hours free here and there. So yeah, trips outside of New Haven, no, we do not offer excursions or anything like that. We always tell students, just because there's not enough time, we want to focus on academics. We always tell students, especially those that come from really, really far away, um, to maybe plan some sightseeing trips in New York or Boston or whatever near New Haven, right before or right after the program, because we will not be uh, present, like giving that or even given the time to do that. Um, so the transportation, is transportation help available? So students have to get to New Haven on their own. We have information in our website with recommendations and the Go shuttle, which is the shuttle that Yale students use to come to campus from different airports and so on. We do know that our students, once they get admitted, they connect with each other to come together if, say, they're coming from the same airport or from the same area. But because of our location and the fact that so many airports are kind of near but kind of far, we do not offer any kind of organized systems. Again, it would be too difficult with the students coming from every state and 150 countries. But definitely our students do connect and many of them organize to travel together from certain areas. So there's a question about the size of dorm rooms and how many attendees per room. So Yale buildings are very old, so they're very different. So even from floor to floor, believe it or not, the rooms will be different and the configurations of the rooms will be different. We have singles and doubles, and most of the rooms, again, it's very unique building. Sometimes you might have a single in a hallway, but most of the room configuration is in the suite model with like a common room and then doubles or singles of the suite common room. But yeah, singles and doubles is the most. For admitted students, we will allow students to let us know if they need a single or a double for any particular reason, like a medical reason or a special, like we actually need to know a little because we cannot guarantee otherwise that everybody that selects a single or a double will get it, but we'll definitely listen to the students' needs and try to accommodate them. And sometimes we can because there's a variety, I would say. Probably we have more doubles than singles, but we also have a good amount of singles. We do not have, there's a question about a buddy system. Uh, for us, the family time component acts as basically the family more than a buddy. When you come to YYGS, you get a 10 to 12 member family, and these students will see each other once or twice a day. So that is really helpful. And then so maybe some students will become really close with their roommate or their suite mate. Other students will become very close with their family time members. Other students with the students in their seminars or in their lecture. But in general, they have so many combinations of students that they meet throughout the day that it's very easy to make friends. So we don't have buddy system per se, but also we have the residential life staff that are available and support students as needed. But again, we tell students when they arrive to YYGS to try to make at least one friend from every continent or every country or every and try to make a couple new friends every day, because there's so many people that are there to meet other people, right? It's an especially open and inclusive group of students, so it's definitely an easy place to make connections and to learn from each other. And so there's one last question about if our program is academic, or is there also a career exploration component? That's a very interesting question. So we are mostly about academics, I would say. We do have a component called Opportunities in Higher Ed, in which students get panels, because we have our instructors and Res Life staff are grad and undergrad students at Yale mostly, and some other universities. So they will host panels for students to ask questions about student life. And I feel there's a lot of career questions that happen there, right? Because they have undergrad and grad students. So I think that is probably the biggest thing that we do about careers. And then depending on the lectures, I think it ends up being a good opportunity for students to decide what path they want to pursue. And we often hear from alumni, I came to YYGS thinking X, and then I left and I decided to major in something else. And it's usually an eye-opening experience, like I said before. And uh, I think there's a question about tuition. Our tuition, yes, it's $6,500, includes academics, room and board. It does not include travel expenses. Obviously, travel expenses vary a lot. We have students that drive, and we have students that fly from Australia or all over the world. So we do, however, offer need-based financial aid that can be partial or total. So in a way, we are very unique as the only, or one of the only academic enrichment programs that offers need-based financial aid, and also to every nationality. So again, the cost of the program, what we understand, it's high for a lot of people, especially in certain countries, it's very high. We really don't want to deter applicants, because we have a lot of middle class students that attend with a partial financial aid package, and as well as obviously a full ride. And there is a couple of questions about what to wear and things like that. There's a packing list in the website that goes into detail about that. Definitely, we're not a formal program, and it's hot, so students can be comfortable. And we do have a couple events where students dress up, but there's more information in our packing list in the website. And I think our final question is about things that you can do to increase your chances of getting in. Oh, so for that one, my advice is to be yourself. We want to get to know who you are and why you want to join us, and just give us the best like, just shows who you are. Just be honest, be yourself, and shows who you are. That's the most enjoyable, I think, for you guys to write, and it's also the most enjoyable for our application readers to really get to know you and know who are you, right? So that's my advice: be yourself. Um, so thank you all again so much. It's I hope that you have enjoyed learning a little bit more about YYGS. And again, I encourage you to go in our website, learn more about what we do, and maybe apply or tell your friends, spread the word, spread your word with your friends in other countries. We're always trying to make sure that students know that this opportunity exists, because we are very famous in some places, but believe it or not, we keep working to have representation from every little corner of the planet. So tell your friends. And again, thank you for your attention, and have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you might be. And take care, everyone.